Hello, strong people. Week 1, day 1 of America's Strongest Man Prep. That's insane. That's so crazy to say out loud. Let me get that out of the way. America's Strongest Man. That's what we're prepping for. Granted, won't be much of a prep. It is 7 weeks out as of Saturday. So today's Tuesday. It's like 6.5 weeks now, sort of. So, but this week we got 2 days prep. That's it. Just because kind of easing back into it. Easing. Usually I have like a week or 2 weeks off of scheduled programming, but not this time around, and not for the Pro-Am either. Really not setting myself up for much success when it comes to this. 2 back-to-back short preps. The Pro-Am wasn't as big of a deal because they were pretty similar events, but the America's pretty different. So we got that's just crazy to think this is America's Strongest Man, and 6.5 weeks out, 5 weeks of prep really. So it's a light week, kind of easing back into it, generally speaking. So we actually have Circus dumbbell today. That's the main thing. So I actually get to use this dumbbell I got a while back. It's a 3-inch handle. That's gonna be tough. I don't even know what it weighs, actually. I gotta weigh it before we go today. It's very light technique wise, like under 140 pounds it says. That bell itself might be that heavy, so I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty close to 140. Maybe, I don't know. But I got this one because it holds 25s. I don't know that I'll need to use 25s in it. Nah, hopefully I do. I don't know, but this is a weird one because it's not just Circus. It's a frame into a Circus. So I think it's like 30-foot frame into Circus for reps. So equipment, whenever you get into like these moving into press medleys, you get into differences in equipment, like gear. So like if it was just a frame, I'd be using my moving event shoes, knee sleeves, and then my soft belt and hard belt. But because there's a press after, on Circus, I'd usually have on wrist wraps, sleeves, a different pair of shoes, and then knee sleeves and belt. So I'm going to have to train. I don't want to wear wrist straps on the frame. Whenever I wear wrist straps, it closes my hand off a little bit. I want that full hand to be able to grip into this. So I don't know that I'll need, I don't know. I don't plan on using wrist straps for this event. So I'm going to train it that way. But, yeah, I'm going to wear my pressing shoes for the frame, which is a little bit odd for me. It's going to feel weird, but it's not. It shouldn't make that big of a deal. Hopefully not. It doesn't matter. None of it matters if I can't hold on to the stupid thing anyway. So it's a whole lot of what ifs. So I don't want to talk too much longer. I got to get all this stuff cleaned up because I left everything lay out from the last prep. So I just got stuff laying everywhere. Bench here, frame there, trap bar there, plates, everything. So let me get this out of the way, and then we'll actually get to some real training. All right, so circus was very easy. It should be at that weight. It was 140. The bell ended up being it's technically like just under 116, but I'm just going to call it 115 for math purposes. So that was, it was 140. So obviously it should move fine. That bell's it's a little bit bent, I've noticed. It's not too bad, but it's nothing even really, not even really worth mentioning, honestly. It's a lot better quality than what I had before. So for OSG Regional, September last year, that was the last time I touched a circus dumbbell. Leading into that show, I borrowed one from a buddy. So I have one, wherever it is. It's a Junkie Titan one. It's just disgusting. So this was a definitely major upgrade. The 3-inch handle adds some difficulty, but that's fine. I kept smashing my thumb on the inner handle. So it's got where there's welds, obviously. There isn't much space in between the caps on this one. So if you have really big hands, you'd probably struggle getting your hand around, like kind of in between this one. It's kind of awkward, but my thumb's all tore up a little bit from it hitting the top of the dumbbell where the weld is. And I didn't show it in that one part of the video, but I put mats down now because I didn't realize it, but there's two, it looks like divots, like golf divots in this wood for my deadlift platform. So I'm really annoyed about that. Like that first set, whenever I was tapping it to the floor, I was putting little divots in. There's two big chunks. I'm so mad. Whatever. On to the next thing. So I think next is that spider web looks weird. It's like attached to the wall and my turf. I'm gonna go mess that up. But now I have high incline dead press. So kind of right where my sticking point is. Called a dead press, but what else is it called? Dead stop reps, whatever you want to call them. But pretty much that. So let's move on. Wow. Those dead presses absolutely kicked my butt. Oh, I'm actually kind of cramping up. Ooh. So, God, kind of cramping. That was kind of an eye-opening exercise right there. I am very weak in that at that point right there of the press. It's kind of an in-between, like it's kind of where, like in theory, my legs should be able to push press the weight above my head. So this is kind of like right it's right about the sticking point. So that's terrible. My front delts are absolutely toasted right now. I only did 2 sets of 10, and I failed at the 10th rep on that last set. It feels like I've done 5 sets of 10. That is, yeah, that's got to get better. Wow. Now that's a tough part of that's kind of like in pressing. If I were to compare that to a deadlift, it's like 13-inch deadlift. It's kind of like no man's land. It's that weird in between, and it felt pretty bad. So I don't know for sure. I would imagine that's going to stay in the programming for this coming cycle. But that was tough. Now from here on out, it's pretty basic stuff. Well, for the most part, I have my general accessories. I have single arm lat pull downs next. I don't know if I'll record those. What I probably will record though is I have like arm over arm, but rather than using leg drive, it's just pulling. It's just pulling with my arms, which is going to be, I'm assuming, to simulate the hoist, because you can't really use your legs in a hoist. So if you're unfamiliar, a hoist, it's going to be from the top. So like there's a pulley at the top. Well, honestly, it's kind of like if you look at like a lat pull down, like the weight's going to be down here. There's going to be a pulley up there, and then we're going to be pulling from this side. But of course, it's it's going to be different than this, obviously. But we're going to have a rope, and the objective is to pull whatever's down here up to the ceiling. So I've seen some different ways of training that, so I'll probably try out one of those. But it's going to be weird. So let's move on. Let's move on to I think I said it was a single arm lat pull down. So I wasn't going to record a set of these, but I haven't in a while. I don't think I've done these since having this garage up. So if you're new, this is a great exercise. These are the little things that matter here. You might be like, how does this make me better? I'm like, it's an accessory. This is targeting lats. These little things matter. Also, these feel like the best stretch of my lats I could possibly get for the most part. I do struggle left to right. On the left side, I feel like no bicep. It's all lat. On this side, I do feel like my bicep wants to pull a little bit, so it helps me target the lat better. It helps me kind of concentrate on it without being, super. You cannot be sloppy on these reps. You just physically can't. I mean, you might be able to, but it's pretty hard. So. That set was a lot better. Didn't feel bicep at all. That's gonna be tough. This is also not fun. All right. I had a lot of fun during that session. I loved every second of that. I don't know what it is, but that was a great session. Felt good the whole way through. Granted, my body is definitely not 100% yet from the show. My calves were still pretty annihilated today. They actually feel not too bad. My legs are a little bit sore. I'm just a little bit sore. Originally, we had today's workout planned for tomorrow. We were going to do it Wednesday, Thursday, but I'm actually going out of town on like a weekend vacation thing Thursday night. So I may have been able to squeak a workout in Thursday, but I didn't want to push it. So we did it tonight and tomorrow. And I'm not mad about it. I'm just happy all the way around about that workout. So something I want to mention about the arm over arm there. Now I obviously don't have a hoist setup. I'm sure I could rig something up. I don't know. To my rafters, it's probably, well, to the bottom of the truss, it's probably like 11 feet. It's less than half the distance we'd be pulling, but it would get the feel. I'll have to try to figure something out, maybe. Yeah, the wheels are turning now. I don't know. Because it's going to be a whole different feel. Now, there's like 3 different types of poles when it comes to this. When it comes to arm over arm stuff, like seated arm over arm poles, there's sort of 3. So there's one with wheels. There's one just on a sled, and there's one's kind of new, the hoist. Obviously, wheels, it's going to roll a little bit, most likely, unless it's just super stupid heavy. There's a lot of things that go into it, but for the most part, it's going to roll a little bit. Sleds, it's pretty much stop and go, unless you're fast enough with your hands to kind of keep it moving. But then there's the hoist. So obviously in a hoist, you're picking it up off the ground. So if you're unaware, gravity exists, and gravity is going to be fighting you every step of the way. So, there's no resetting. Like once you go, you got to go. So the way that I did the first, I'm trying to imagine what it would feel like today. Like what a technique would be that would make sense for an event where it's constantly being pulled back against you. So I definitely, the second video is definitely what's going to make more sense in my opinion. So I have to look at the rules on this to see what happens like if you do drop it, because like it's in the air, like it's going to fall down unless it's like a ratcheting system, like they have at the Shaw. If as you hoist it up, it's going to stay where you leave it. It's just a cooler thing that way. I doubt it's going to be that way at ASM. So I'm going to have to double check, but I'm guessing it's going to be, straight up. If you drop it, it's falling 25 feet or however far up you have it. So the way that I did that first run there, just arm, it was literally arm over arm. So like 1, 2, 1 pull, 2 pull. I think that's dumb. If you had stupid good grip strength, maybe you could get away with that, but I don't think it's going to be any better. Both of those runs, the first one is a little bit faster, yes. But I don't know if I'll possess the grip strength to just arm over arm it, without having two hands on it at a time. The way I did it the second time, that feels a lot more secure, a lot safer to do. There's only that split second where you have one arm off, but otherwise you're pulling with both arms. 1, 2, pull, reset with one, regrip with the other hand, pull. Kind of like a standard, sled pull in a way. Standard sled pull technique, but just kind of making sure there's going to be tension. You do not have to worry about there not being tension on this one because gravity is pulling it down. On other pulls, you have to worry about keeping tension on the rope. On this one, there's going to be tension no matter what. So that's kind of an interesting thing. This is a brand new event for me, so I'm kind of scheming as to what exactly it's going to feel like, what might be best. Leg drive, it doesn't really make too much sense because, I'm sure there's a reason to use it. But you can't, there's not going to be any slack in the rope, so you can only grab as far as your arms will let you reach. It's not like on something that rolls where if you pull it, it's going to keep coming at you a little bit if it's light enough. This is going to be always fighting against you, so I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head around it. Thinking a lot about it. On paper, probably a terrible event for me. I have short arms, kind of small hands, definitely small hands. Yeah, not an ideal event for me, but I don't know. I like kind of being the underdog a little bit. Plus, if I'm not good at it, that gives me that tells me I have a lot of room for improvement, which I also like. So I don't know. We'll see. I definitely feel like I need to rig up something that's a little bit better than just a regular old sled pull because it's not going to be the same. It's going to be much different. So, I'm gonna have to look because I've seen other people rig stuff up. So I'm gonna have to go scrolling through social media or something to find some good ideas. But we'll see. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we actually go back to regular deadlifts. Well, sort of regular axle deadlifts. Still don't have the weights for America, so don't know what I'll be pulling, but I'd assume the last bar is going to be low 8s, which would be a major PR on a raw pull. So I don't know, but tomorrow, God, I'm cramping. But tomorrow is just going to be mostly speed stuff and some high rep squats, unfortunately. But until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.